The next one up here is called the Lord. What's they called, please? Lord. Thank you. Now, the Lord's path to wealth is also through gathering assets, but these people gather assets that produce cash flow. They're experts at extracting cash flow out of assets because they're so good with numbers. They're often chartered accountants. In my experience, when I run seminars, I often have 300 or 400 people in a room who all know their wealth dynamics profile, and I separate the different profiles into different corners of the room, just like the square here. When I look at this bunch of people over here, usually they have horn-rimmed glasses, they're slightly balding men, the women look a little bit cold, they're not very friendly looking very often. Now, lords, I don't mean to offend you, but you're not people's people. Notice you're the opposite of the people's people profile, the supporter. You should not be people facing necessarily. It's not that you can't, but you're not going to make wealth that way, right? And this brings up another interesting distinction. All of us can do all of these things, okay? But only one of these things is going to allow us to create wealth in a way that's natural and easy and just comes effortlessly. You know, if you're a star, you can trade. Or for example, I'm a creator. I can trade. I'm not stupid. I can learn how to trade the markets. First time I tried, I lost $10,000 in 2 weeks. So I have no sense of timing. It's totally the opposite. Chances are it's always going to be hard for me to trade. I'm going to outsource my trading to somebody who's a trader profile who knows how to trade, right? The idea here is not to be a jack of all trades like we were taught to be at school, but to be a master of one. And be really good at one and then build a team of people who can support you in your weak spots. The problem is, if you're a creator profile or a star profile or whatever you are, you tend to attract people who just like you, right? So Damien's a lord, and he's a personable guy. And we went out last night, and behold, one of Damien's friends was also a lord. I wasn't surprised because like attracts like. All my friends are creators and stars. Now here's what happens when you go into business and you're interviewing people, right? Say you're running a business, you need to hire some staff. I'm a creator. I hire somebody like, who thinks they're a creator in their room? Somebody who's an ideas person. Yes, you? Okay, good. What is your name? Janet. Hi, Janet. So Janet comes to the job and I say, Janet, what do you think of my idea? And what do you say, Janet, when I tell you about my idea?
Great.
Great! I'm like, fantastic. And you probably tell me 10 of your ideas and go, wow, that's amazing! You're hired! Because we get along and we just like each other. The problem is when I hire somebody like me who I like, I've just doubled my strengths and probably quadrupled my weaknesses in my business. I've built a lopsided business. Because now we both want to not complete things. We both want to have head in the clouds all day long dreaming up ideas, and there's nobody there to implement them, right? And this is how most businesses run. People hire people they like rather than people who are naturally suited to the positions they need to fill. All right, so it brings up the last profile up here. Damien, how am I doing on time? I think I've got about 5 minutes.
You got to survey the room. I'm another 10 minutes.
Okay, I'll try to get it done in 5. Last one's called the mechanic. Okay, are you guys learning something, by the way? Yeah. Find this interesting? Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you. The mechanic profile is all about systems thinkers. These people are also intuitive, like the creators. They're full of ideas, but their ideas are more focused towards building systems and automation. I suspect you may be a mechanic profile. Famous mechanics would be people like, hang on, can I just backtrack? I just realized I didn't tell you a little bit about the Lord profile and just give you some examples. Remember, Lords are all about extracting cash flow from a business. Lords don't even have to own the asset. So an example of a great Lord business would be like a car rental company. The bank owns the cars, but the person who owns the car rental company just cranks in the cash flow. Or renting out a house, okay, and putting tenants in it that produce cash flow. You don't even need to own the asset. The bank owns the asset. As long as you're good at managing the cash flow, this will be easy for you, right? So that was the Lord thing I wanted to put in there. Famous Lords, John D. Rockefeller would be a famous Lord. Alrighty, moving on to mechanics, all about systems people. My favorite system and my favorite mechanic is Jeff Bezos. Anybody know which business Jeff Bezos started?
Amazon.
Amazon.com. Does Amazon.com ship over here to the Bahamas?
Yeah.
They do? Fantastic. I love Amazon. They don't ship to the Turks. You know, in Turks, I have to fly my stuff in with friends. Every time friends come to visit, I'm like, I'm shipping a whole lot of Amazon stuff to you. Buy an extra suitcase and bring it over because we don't get it there. So Jeff Bezos built a great system. And he plowed books through the system to start off with. And what happens is a great mechanic, part of their wealth creation strategies, they'll build a system, put products through it, and then they'll start to charge out, rent out their system to other people to send their products to the system. So Amazon's done this beautifully, because now if you own a business, you can sell your products on Amazon.com. You can just go tomorrow and sign up as an Amazon shop, and you can use their system, and they can take a cut to the business. Their system just ticks over. It doesn't cost them anything extra because it's all automated, and they just take a cut of the business. You were talking to me today about how you want to take Bahamas local and expand it and take your system and move it into the Caribbean, into other islands as you grow. That's a classic mechanic strategy. And if you are a mechanic and you stick to that, I'm sure you'll be very successful. If you're not a mechanic, what you want to do is find a mechanic who would be good at doing that and doing franchising. Franchising is a great thing for mechanics. People who love following systems and improving systems, right? So that is the 8 wealth dynamics square. I could speak for an hour and a half and fill up the square with so much writing you wouldn't even be able to read what was on there anymore. It's incredibly involved and amazing technology. I want to quickly show you how this applies to internet marketing. Because how many of you here are in the world of internet marketing or internet business? Okay, probably half of the room. So one of the things I have, just taking some notes here, because this is the first time I've ever applied this in a talk to internet marketing. One of the things I've noticed about being online is there are so many different strategies you can use to create wealth. There's social media marketing, where you go to the Facebook, Twitter, whole YouTube thing like that. There's YouTube videos. That's becoming the most popular search engine, even more than Google now. YouTube has the most bandwidth traffic. There's pay-per-click marketing. There's affiliate marketing, where you sell somebody else's product. There's copywriting, where you have to learn how to write sales. You could be a designer. I mean, there's so many different positions you could be in the whole internet space. You could run an online shop. You could buy and sell websites and blogs. How do you know where to start? And everybody's got a different piece of advice. I'm on most of the internet marketing mailing lists. And every week there's a different launch of a different product, and somebody's trying to sell you their product. That's a totally different strategy. Somebody's saying, pay-per-click's the way to make money. The next person says, no, it's social media. The next person says, no, YouTube is the future. And how do you know what's right and who's wrong? Well, I'd like you to consider this. Consider that everybody's right. Okay? All these strategies work, but they work for the people who are taking them because of who those people are. A YouTube strategy is going to work for which profiles do you think are going to be good for YouTube on this square? Stars and supporters and creators. They're all kind of around, and deal makers. This kind of extroverted side, right? They're going to be great on video because they can present and they love the center of attention. They're far more extroverted. Which profiles do you think are going to be better towards things that require measuring, like pay-per-click advertising, which is all about numbers? Yeah, accumulator laws mechanics. They're natural for that kind of strategy. Is natural. You guys are doing great for this kind of thing. So before I came out on the plane here, I just kind of jotted down some notes of, some of the different types of positions that might suit the different profiles, and then I'm going to tell you how you can find out your profile if you wanted to do that. So, a creator. These are obviously you want to create products. In the internet marketing space, this could be any kind of product. Could be an idea for a website where you start a company. For me, it's information products. I sell DVDs and CDs in the personal development world. Ideas. If you're information, books, ebooks, any of that stuff. You want to be the author, the creator of the product. Okay? It could also be a copywriter. It's another thing I do a lot of as a creator profile. I write a lot of copy, and I really enjoy it because it's a creative process to me. It's like writing songs. Whereas in the music industry, except this time I'm writing sales letters. Or being a designer, a graphic designer might be another classic position for a creator profile. For the star, you want to be in social media, you want to be in blogging, YouTube videos, you want to be coaching, you want to build a brand around yourself. I don't know if any of you are in the internet marketing space. Ellie Brown, she's built a brand like Oprah Winfrey in the internet marketing world. She teaches internet marketing only for women. And women in the world interested, just write in there, Ellie, A-L-I, Brown, Google her, and you'll find her. She's built a huge personality around her, right? Supporters, these people would make, by the way, just because stars are good at social media doesn't mean if you're a lord you can't do social media. Of course you can. It just means your wealth isn't going to come from there. Your wealth is going to come from counting numbers and doing the detail-oriented stuff. I want to make that distinction. These are not rules that, so only stars should be doing social media. No, anybody can do any of this stuff. But the one that's most natural is going to be the one that you should be focusing on. So you can do the social media if you're not any of the extroverted profiles, and go ahead, but you're probably never going to make millions out of it because you're just not that kind of personality. You're not the big rah-rah